I don't know what would be my starting point here. So much in my mind.
But I think the main thing nje ukuthi nayi lento iyaqhubeka ipheli, kuyakhulunywa ngayo, kwenziwa ama-march, kwenziwa ama-campaign, kwenziwa yonke into, akushintshi lutho. Kuyacaca ukuthi khona into engakenzeki or asikafiki in the root of the problem. And ngiyacabanga ukuthi abantu abanjengani ibona abaziyo ukuthi impela nampela kwenzakalani, yini engenza umehluko. So ngicabanga mhlawumbe.
Okay. I think for starters, gender-based violence, it is a reality. It is happening, and it has no class, it has no race, it has no age group, it is there. Unfortunately, the government has really tried in putting so much in fighting the gender-based violence, but we seem to be losing the battle. I think most of the things that the people must understand, especially the country that we are in, yes, we must look at the factors that maybe are making our fight not winnable. One of the things that I've looked at as a detective that has been working with these gender-based violence cases, culture plays a big role also, and the religion. I'm going to clarify it by saying, okay, by culture, I'm Zulu, as much as I'm a detective. In our culture, we were raised that if you're a woman, you are getting married to a man. If the man is hitting you or the man is doing something that you don't like, you must keep it as a secret between you and your husband. If it is getting worse, you were told to speak to your mother-in-law. But now let us look at what has been happening with the gender-based violence. What has been happening is that here is a wife, young or old, that is having a problem with her husband. Then, because of our culture, she won't report to her maternal family. She will report to the in-laws. The in-laws who will start to influence first by saying, don't open a case against your husband. It's gonna be a family matter that we can sit down and talk to him. We have lost most of our women through the cultural practices that are not favoring our women as victims of gender-based violence. It is not only happening to Zulu culture. I'm using the Zulu example because I'm Zulu by culture. It is happening in all cultures and in all races. The families are thinking they can have control over the abuser by speaking to him, by saying this and that, not knowing that the deeper problem with an abuser is that this person is sick psychologically. He needs more than the family can convince her to stop abusing his wife. Another thing that I'm looking at as a detective, you know that an abuser, when he starts, he never stops. That's the bottom line. We don't have a solution as a justice system to that one. Yes, we do have the psychologists that are coming in to speak to the abusers, maybe in the form of a marriage counseling. But honestly speaking, it is not working. And that's the truth that must be known. So you'll find that this is a woman who is a victim in the situation of the gender-based violence. She really loves her husband or her boyfriend. She is committed to this relationship or to this marriage. But she is not even aware that she's living with a very sick person psychologically that can harm him anytime. Yes, there are counselors that will come, because you'll find that in some stages, even if a person before she can even open a case, you must know that the person before she can open a case of gender-based violence, she's having her own friends, she's having her own people that she's confiding in. In most cases, the people, they will be like, why can't you leave him? Mina, I won't allow a man to do that. They don't understand the depth. Here is a person that is saying, I'm committed. There's no other man that I want to be involved with except this man. And another thing that our victim and our complainants, they don't understand. No matter what, you cannot change a person. A person can change himself. There's nothing that you can do to change a person. Once a person has started to abuse you, there's nothing as a partner that you can do. Because remember, there's nothing wrong that you have done. That's the first thing that you must understand. The guilty that you are carrying, that because when she's beating you or when she's abusing you, either psychologically or emotionally, she will say things to you. You are this, you are that. Unfortunately, they always win. The abusers, they always win. Because the victim ending up believing that I am stupid, I'm not worth to be of this, and there's no man that can love me if I leave this one. Which is something that we know. There is no way that a person, by mere saying that you are stupid, exactly, you are now stupid. He's just saying because this is what he believes, because he is very, very sick. And one of the things that I want to advise our women out there and our young girls, there are signs. You know those signs, because why I'm saying this, of all the victims that I've had communication with, all of them, they will tell me, Mama, I remember how this thing started. All of them, they know how it started. But the only thing is that there's nothing that is forcing them out to jump out of the relationship, because there's this hope of saying, maybe if I take this action, I'm overreacting. Maybe let me give him a benefit of a doubt. Maybe this man, because he's really loving. Remember the sickness of the abuser. She's hurting you now. The next moment she's apologizing to say, I don't know why I'm doing these things. I don't know why I'm hurting you. I love you, and you know that I love you. So all those things, they are going through the same mind of the same woman who is saying, oh, maybe I'm overreacting. By not telling someone, I think that's the right thing to do. Because remember, the mind of the abuser, the first thing that he wants to work on is to isolate his victim. That's the best thing. If you're having a family that loves you so much, the first thing that the man will do, he will try by all means to make you feel your family does not love you the way he does. And they always win with that. Once he's taking you out of your family, the next step, he looks at all the people that you are. They are your backbone. Your family, your friends, maybe your church members. He'll have his way of working in his way to remove you from relying to those people. So that now when you are alone, once he starts his things, he knows that you will never behave with anyone that you will run to. Because he has put in your mind that, so and so, you told me that she was your friend since you've been at school. Let me tell you, this friend of yours, I've been watching her. She's like this, she's like that. And unfortunately, the mind is powerful. Once the mind believes, there's no one that can say. Hence, the person will go for a counseling to a social worker or a psychologist. But the man, because he's spending more time with you, and he knows what he wants to do, he's having all the time to say, don't believe that when the social worker is telling you this. Remember, this man, maybe the husband left her because of this. They are so manipulative, and unfortunately, they win with their manipulation until they get all that they want. My advice to the women of South Africa, to our young girls, as I've said before, those signs, God is so faithful that He gives you those signs. Those signs, when they start, act on those signs that are starting. Because after those signs, if you wait for more days or for more months or for more years, you'll end up dying. There's one message that I want to send also to our colleagues, to our police, to our prosecutors, to our advocates, to our magistrates, to our judges. Let us have enough compassion and passion to understand what our victims are going through. We've got so many cases that we are having. As we all know that gender-based violence is having so many high rates. But all I want to say to my colleagues, let us be passionate with what you are doing. Let us be compassionate so that on its own, let us not have a situation when the victim is thinking of taking a stand, of going to justice system to get help. She might doubt, thinking that nobody can believe him, nobody can understand where she is coming from. You know, I'm going to make a small example. We've got many different kinds of shops. We've got Checkers, we've got Spar, we've got Pick and Pay. What is making you to choose to go to Pick and Pay? Something is happening when you're at Pick and Pay. What is making a Checkers supermarket to be your favorite? There's something. I always say to my colleagues, let us be that kind of a good choice for our victim to say, you know what, I'm not going to take it. Let the people know that there is Constable so and so, that if I tell my story, there is Sergeant so and so, there is Captain so and so, there is a Brigadier so and so, there is General so and so, who can listen to my story and believe me. Let us have this trust with our society that if my case is open, the justice will be served to me. I don't know where to start, but I know that we've got the ball in our hands. Let us play it perfectly for our victims to benefit when we are playing this ball that we are having in our hands as a justice system. And then the last message that I want to send to our men. I want to thank all the men of South Africa of all races who are able to see that gender-based violence is a cancer, it's a disease, it's a pandemic, as our president is saying. But it's not enough to keep on saying you're going to march as men to show the nation that you support. You need to do more than that. One of the things that I want to advise men to do, let us have more conferences. Call us as women to say, we are having this conference. Can the women come and talk to us? What is it that we need to do to assist them? That can help. One of the things that as a detective I want to see happening to our men of South Africa, you see where our victims are stuck is when now they jump out of those relationships. The first thing that you will say, go to a domestic violence court and apply for a protection order. When the woman as a victim is going to apply for the protection order, we want to see our men saying, oh Sissy, you are finally here. You want to apply for the protection order for this man to stop abusing you. We are here to support you. Honestly, we want to speak to this man. We want him to know that what he's doing we want to see that role playing among our victims. They must feel, you guys, that you are here next to them to protect them. Not only by talking to the television, come closer to them. The places where you can find the victim of gender-based violence is at the protection order courts, at domestic violence courts. It's at courts when maybe the woman is there now. The case is open now. The case is taken to the court for. We don't want to see only women picketing outside the courtroom to say we want men not to get paid. We want to see men. We want to see men even saying to the officials, can we have a word with this accused that has done this to a woman? That is what we want to see. Then we will be able to say our men, they are up in arms trying to stop the gender-based violence. Because you know, when you are going to a man who has abused a wife or a girlfriend, it is easy because sometimes you will say to this man, when you are having a talk with him, he will be telling you that she's doing this and this. Maybe it's something that maybe your wife did to you. Then you have a way of saying, you know, even my wife is doing that to me. But it's not a big deal, or something like, he did it to me, and this is how I sorted it out. So we want those things, we want those involvements. Then we can maybe reach somewhere. Yes, I know us as justice system, we are trying. Believe us, we are trying our best, but we cannot win this battle without you, especially to see men coming in the picture, because most of our perpetrators are males. And then if the men can come and say, how can we help? Then we can direct you how you can assist us, especially with our perpetrator. I think I've just tried to cover. I don't know if you...
Serious issue. Because, you know, even with this thing of reporting to the police and stuff, some people would say the police didn't believe me, or they just said, just go home and sort out this thing. You are in love with your husband. This is a minor issue, you know. And it makes the whole thing crazy, you know. I'm thinking even of this thing as I'm trying to that case, it's been hectic, you know.
Exactly.
So it just shows you that we need something to change, and we need something to change now, you know. So,
there is no other time to fix all them now. If we can't change it now, we will never get it. And what is worrying is that we've got another generation that is coming. If we can't sort it now, for the generation to come, it will be worse than now. Right now, I'm talking about a situation where a woman, you can see the fear. They're scared of doing anything. The women are not planning anything these days because they have that fear of saying, I wonder when I'm gonna die. Not only by the partner, yes, the majority is the partner, but a woman in South Africa, to men, it means nothing. If I may talk to you, something that happened last night. I was sleeping last night. I received a call from somebody that I don't know, but apparently got the call from my phone from somebody from KZN. She's saying, look at me. He sent me photos. He was bruised. He was bruised badly. Then I asked what happened to her. It was a lady. He said, my name is Soren, so I'm not going to mention the name. He said, you know what, Mama, I'm calling you because I want you to come and assist me. One of the things that I know is that let the GBV be a baby for everybody. Everyone must take it serious. I'm talking now about my colleagues. There must be no way where a person is coming to the police station, he's turned away for whatever reason that you believe, you don't believe. It's not for you as a cop to believe, not to believe or to believe. You listen to the story, you know what you're supposed to do. Put the story down, take the matter as it comes, get the perpetrator, take the matter to court. It's not for you to say the woman is lying, the woman, why you never came yesterday, if it happened the other day. It doesn't matter. If the victim has been able to stand up and say, now I'm going to the justice system, starting at the police station, your duty to do is to assist. You are obliged to assist by constitution. You can't have a situation where police are turning people away because they don't believe them, because they doubt what they are saying. It is not for us. It is for the court to say the woman was telling the truth or the woman was lying. If we can stop that, what you are doing, things can work better. Because this woman is telling me, I went to a certain, I was working, I'm working on the street. She's saying, I'm working on the street as a street sweeper at night. So I got pressed, then I just helped myself, released myself in a place, not knowing that someone was going to come. Here is the man that is coming. She's saying, this is my place. Why are you, urinating here? Then the next thing, the man went inside and took a, what you call this stick, the snooker stick, and started to beat the woman. Beat the woman so badly, in the presence of other co-workers of the woman.
They didn't help her.
Then the woman went to the police station. He said, this is what has happened to me. Somebody just, I tried to explain, I did not know, I thought it was a place for municipal, as I'm cleaning the street. The man just beat me. And then when getting to the police station, nobody wanted to open the case. So I'm asking the woman, what was the reason for people not to open the case for you? He said, I was told that, what if that man, when he comes, he's going to say another story. It's not for us to say, what if. For us is to listen to the person that has come as a victim of GBV and assist. take the statement. If you know, if the person knows who did it, go immediately and arrest, because we've got a prima facie case. Here is the person. I was with so and so. I was urinating. Then I got a beating. Then I went to the doctor. What more do you want? Because this is a prima facie case. Everything that you need as a cop is there. It's not a person saying that I woke up and I don't know who beat me. The person is saying I was with so and so came and beat me like this. I went to the doctor. This is the medical report. What more do you want to ask? I can't help you. Come tomorrow. This is the message really that I want my people to get. It is not nice anymore. It is not fun. Let us assist our people. We are the only hope for our nation as a justice system.
Hey, this is hectic. This is very hectic. We just hope that, in fact, just hoping that a better day is coming is not enough, because, as you said, we all just need to work in our own corners to make sure we create a safe environment, a safe society for our families, for our communities, for our kids, and everybody. And it's just disappointing to see sometimes how families can cover up these things, because usually it happens behind the family sector, where people are supposed to be loving each other, and they are a big family. The stories that come out are just so disheartening. No, but we thank you so much, Joyce. Maybe just your final word of caution and whatever it is.
My final word, I want to say I'm sorry to those victims that maybe we haven't served them the way they were expecting. And I also want to commend those that are coming forward, because those that have come forward, the majority of them, they have got the assistance that they needed. The only message that I want to say to the families, don't isolate the victim of gender-based violence. The fact that the victim has reported your son in a form of a husband, or has reported your son in a form of a boyfriend, must not cause the animosity. That victim still needs the family support. But these days you find that the only support that the victim is left with is only us, the detectives and the prosecutors. The family says, if you are not cancelling that case, nobody's gonna support you. One of the things that also I want to say back to the men of our country, our women who find themselves in these domestic violence situations, financially, most of them, they are not strong. And you'll find a situation where the abuser is financially secured. She'll bring those heavyweight advocates to represent him, while the woman will be on her own with the prosecutors and the police. We need people who are going to say, I am going to give you, even if there is a need of giving me the pro bono services as an advocate, to make sure that you get the support that you need from the justice system. Yes, we are there as police and prosecutors, but we need more support on our side also. As much as the accused, the perpetrator, is having those heavyweight advocates, these women who are the victims, they need to know that they are 100% supported. So to all the women that have come forward and opened their cases and have helped us, we thank them very, very much. And to those that have lost their lives through gender-based violence, our condolences to our families, our condolences to the nation as a whole. And we hope that if we can turn things just a little bit around, we will win this battle of gender-based violence. Thank you.